KD7QKU here. You guys hear me? Do you hear me? Lee says he hears me. Okay. So there was a terrible amount of feedback through when I had I turned all the volumes down. So anyway, not much going on here. I was disappointed to find out Wade was over the other night and tried to increase the volume of my audio on my Discord, and previously he had looked at my computer, and I guess it didn't make any difference. It sounds like my audio is still really low. Today when Wade was up on the hill, he asked me to transmit with a handheld, which I did. I could hear the repeater really good, and when I keyed up my handheld, it would bring up the repeater, and I could, hear it. But they couldn't hear me. I tried 3 different handhelds I had, and neither one of them could get in. All right, back to net, KD7Q.
Okay, I got my call sign up, and I should get an Indian head here pretty quick. There we go. All right, and then I'll switch to my Logitech. Well, good evening, everybody. This is Lee in 7KC in Port Angeles. Dave, be advised, I'm getting nothing on the digital stream, but Ron was just fine. So I'm not hearing anything from Dave. Video was good. Um, well, yeah, whatever's going on, I don't know. Anyway, good to see you all. And I guess that's it from here right now. We had a little problem here. Was it yesterday morning? A tanker truck rolled down an embankment over on the other side of the Elwha Bridge, ended up upside down in Indian Creek, and started spilling petroleum. Indian Creek feeds into the Elwha, where Port Angeles gets its water. So they shut the intake off, and now the whole city is on water rationing while they're testing the water system to try to get it back in shape. They're drawing off of a couple of reservoirs that they have at the moment, and it looks like this might go on through the weekend. So anyway, so everybody's trying to be real careful with their water here. Okay, back to you, Dave. This is Lee at 7KC in Port Angeles.
and I can see Mount Rainier. It's been kind of a weird, very cloudy, partly cloudy, sun warm day, so I can't complain. And whenever I can see the mountain, and let's see, the barometer is looking a little fussy right now. I mean, it's starting to straighten out. I think it's going to straighten out, and we're in for a hot stretch. K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, let's pick up Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma. W7ITL.
This is W7ITL. Tonight I'm not going to probably do video for the first round. I'm still doing some tests over here on my side, and I got a little off track, so I'm not quite ready to do anything tonight yet. All right, well, I'll turn it back to net control. This is W7ITL.
W7ITL, thanks for that. Let's see if we can pick up Jim in Covington, N7QO. Again, calling N7QO, Jim in Covington. No response. Well, let's pick up James in Northeast Bellevue, WU7N.
Okay, I too am going to just go with audio for this first round, and then I'll try and see if I can come in on OBS the next round. This is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. Well, big thanks to Rob, Chris, and Wade that were up at the site a lot today, working on the circuit that I'm speaking on now, the 2-meter machine. It seems to be working extremely well, and so big thank you to them. Also, we were able to get into a box to definitely determine that the RG214 that we need is not in that box, so that's another milestone. So let's see what else is going on. Nothing too exciting around here. I like the cooler weather. Perfect weather for getting anything done outside. It's not raining. It's cool enough that you can really work hard and not dehydrate too quickly. So I certainly do like that. And don't know how many days of this we're going to have, but it looks like we got at least 4 days of it before it starts to warm up a bit. Don't forget to water those plants because it's not raining. So that's all the hot news that is news here in Northeast Bellevue. This is James, WU7N. Let me turn it back to our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Dave, take it away.
WU7N. Let's move on to Clyde Hill, to Carlos, 87NP.
Okay, quick check. Audio. Am I getting audio out? Okay, awesome. And I assume video because I see myself on that TV. Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Lee. So this is 87NP. A couple of updates. So on the beginning, yeah, the audio wasn't showing up on the stream. Sorry about that, Lee. There was a change on one of the settings there, but I was able to figure it out. And then I think it's flowing. Today, the focus was making sure that the audio that goes back to the 2 meters is in good quality. So, Richard, I think you are listening on the 2 meters, so I'd be very curious on how you're getting the audio both from me and Ron, okay? So the main focus of the week was making sure that the audio going back to the 2 meters is in good shape, and I hope that's the case. We've done some work also on the all-star status, and so during the spectrum, when we're just receiving signal from 2 meters, it will tell you which all-star nodes are connected right now, and when it detects that there's some activity on either 2 meters or anyone on all-star, you'll see that it turns to green, that line telling that it's sensing someone transmitting. So those are some of the changes of the moment as I get deeper into the all-star. And I do agree the repeater today seems to have a kind of higher quality of audio. On the next turn, I'll tell you more about some of new arrivals that I got. Finally, my new antenna from Europe for HF, and I got my transverters from Q5. So I'll have a show and tell on the next one. Back to okay, there was a little break there on the 2 meters. That's on purpose to let it go. And so I'm going to send it back to Dave, Net Control. This is 87 NP in Clydesdale.
NP, thanks with that. Well, let's move over to OBS and see if we can pick up Mario KD6ILO. KD6ILO coming through on OBS.
Hello everyone from Oceanside. This is Mario, KD6ILO, and I'm finally home. I've been away to Ohio, to the NASA Glenn Research Center to test our next 2 crew sets, and they're working very well. The orbits and telemetry are good. In fact, we'll be getting a signal for Oscar 2 in there you go. And this is going over the California and Mexico. And this is live here in Oceanside. If you see the building in back there, that is where one of the laser terminals are, and we shoot a laser up to the building to Carlsbad and up to the satellite. This is Mario KD6ILO.
KD6ILO. Again, Mario, thanks very much for that, and the pictures looked great coming in that you transmitted up, and all sound and video was coming through perfectly. And this is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I got 68 degrees, partly cloudy outside. Today, loaded up the trunk of the car and went to Goodwill and got rid of about 4 more Apple boxes of stuff. It seems like the more I take out of the basement, the more there is exposed. So I don't know if I'm ever going to get rid of this stuff. Anyway, I keep working at it. But while I was at Goodwill, I went looking through, and believe it or not, I found a 4-port HDMI switcher of all the things to run into 4 ports in, 1 port out, um, electrically controlled with a 9-volt power supply. So anyway, that was a good find. Who knows that somebody would donate something that to Goodwill. So with that, let's see, what else have I got going here? 68 degrees, as I said, partly cloudy. And then I did out and got some watering for my roadies that were looking like their leaves were hanging down, saying, please feed me, or better yet, give me something to drink. So anyway, probably in another couple hours they'll be perked up. And then I noticed my raccoons are back in the backyard. There was a mother playing with her offspring in the lawn in the backyard. They were rolling around in the grass back and forth. Just one kit, so I guess that's all it was in the brood. Generally, in the past, when that happens, I'll see 3 kits out in the backyard, but this time there was only one kit with the mother. So anyway, breeding ground here in Lake City. So with that, I'm going to move it back up to the top of the list to Ron, KD7 QKU.
Get in, but I guess I'm not going to get in there. I am. His picture would freeze up and then his audio would stop. And same with Dave. I have to listen on 2 meters. It won't come through very well on the TV. And unfortunately, it was the same way on Mario. Pictures came through just fine. I'm frozen up. I don't know what's going on. But Mario's audio was intermittent too. And Dave is real bad. So anyway, I'm just turning it back to net. KD7 QKU.
KD7 QKU, thanks with that. Let's move on to Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles.
Okay, there my call sign's up, so the audio channel is probably hot. Well, so there we go. This is my laptop camera. It's a 720, and the Logitech is a 1080. You can see the difference here, but the Logitech, for whatever reason, doesn't do it just seems to do a 4:3. So I don't know. I can't make it. Nothing I can do seems to get it. So it's really wide. Anyway, um, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, Mario, very interesting. Oceanside and what appeared to be a live shot and all that sort of thing. And you said you had been in Ohio, but it escaped me what you were doing in Ohio, so I don't know. But that's where I was raised until I was 18 and went in the Navy, and it was a long time ago. So I don't have a whole lot more. Um, I gave the streaming URL to a couple of radio friends over here in Port Angeles, and Wade knows one of them, Dick, KE7Z, who dropped off the filter, the interdigital filter. He picked it up from Wade and took it back to him, and so he thought he might. He's actually in Des Moines, I believe, tonight, and he was going to try to watch this particular net. And the other fellow, I don't know if he did or not. Well, it has been cooler here for sure. We can actually we can see what's called uh, Point Angeles down on the strait from our place, and the wind blows straight up off the water. And boy, oh boy, you're outside. You gotta have something on, or it's pretty cold. But if you're in the sunroom, you know, it's 80, 85 degrees. Very, very pleasant. So the river now is down to around 700 cubic feet per second. And now, even though it's above 400, they're not using the water because of the tanker rollover on Indian Creek. So if it's not one thing, it's another. Back to you, Dave. This is N7KC in Port Angeles.
N7KC, thanks for that. And get a quick ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, let's go to Kent and pick up Richard, K7ITX.
If it's not one thing, it's another. Boy. That's the story of my life. So anyway, that's pretty funny. Thanks for that, Lee. So anyway, yeah, God, I don't have much to say either, quite honestly. I wish I could have been more helpful to Wade and the technical crew today. I had promised last night over texting with Wade that I'd be able to transmit 5 watts on a mobile antenna on a cookie sheet. Well, I had all the parts except the one critical part that allows 2 male couplings on your coax to mate with each other. And if you don't have that, just might as well forget about it. So anyway, it was kind of a bummer. Because I thought it would have been interesting. Right now I'm 50 watts, where I think the last net I was 5 watts. So if I sound any different tonight versus 2 or 3 nights ago, that might be why. I think the power button inadvertently got pushed. So anyway, might as well bring that up. And I can still see the mountain. K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks for that. And let's go to Wade in Tacoma, W7ITL.
All right, well, I didn't hear my audio, so I'm guessing I have my problem that I had last net, so I'm just going to do regular audio over the repeater, so no video, because I don't know if I can turn off my audio when I'm on digital without doing some setting changes on my settings on my DATV transmitter. So let's just say lots and lots of work. I don't know if there's any gains out of the work that we did today, but Richard, your audio sounded really good. I didn't hear any noise in your signal. It was full quieting, so that's good. Ron, I think your your receiver's having problems, because I've been watching the net all night and I have not had any blips in the video. It's been coming in real clear. So I don't know what's going on there. We can troubleshoot that another day. Yeah, we did another tuning on the cavity filter set that we have at Cougar, and we also added a preamplifier to the receiver input, and I was testing it on the way home, and I was able to talk to James for about 20 miles before I started getting pretty bad. And then I had a quick QSO with a gentleman. I forget his call sign. It was a K call sign. I don't have my my logbook up, but I was able to talk to him on my HT from outside and somewhat inside. So I feel like we got a little bit more receive, but we'll keep chugging along on this and trying to get this better. So I think the next thing we're going to try is a different receiver that will be back in building K, or we'll use a separate receiver in building E instead of using the Kenwood's receiver. It's just not as sensitive as the one we had in building K with the old repeater. So yeah, besides that, I'm going to pause just for a second. I'm probably talked too long. All right. Yeah, Lee, your video is good as usual tonight. Your audio is really good. And Mario, it's nice seeing you on the net and seeing those video clips from San Diego and going to Ohio. I'd be curious what you were doing up there. I don't know if you can talk about it. But that's about all I got for this round. All right, back to net control. This is W7ITL.
W7ITL, thanks with that. Let's see if we can pick up James in Northeast Bellevue, WU7N. 87 NP in Clyde Hill.
Okay. Back on the air. This is 87 NP. And just a couple of notes that I was taking here. Mario, both audio and video came quite clear. Good bit rate, good quality, and I think I now have this properly dialed so that the audio quality that we're getting on the DATV image and both also on the stream, now I think it's getting quite close to what we hear also here on 2 meters. So your audio on 2 meters was also pretty good. So thank you for that. And I saw the images that you add before the net when you were showing the entrance of the marina. So it was good, very good. On Dave, good copy, goodwill visit. You know, I from time to time I like stopping by just for looking of all the stuff that I don't need. And I have two types of reactions. Either I pick yet another thing I don't need, or I think that I should take some stuff from home and just drop it there. And so both reactions are valid, and I've definitely done like you. I've dropped a lot of stuff, and I would have a lot more to drop of things that that I don't use for sure. On Richard, the audio is coming really well on both sides. I'm listening to everyone today on the TV, which has been uninterrupted. We really need to figure out, Ron, what's going on with your receiver, because the TV repeater is quite stable tonight. The same with Wade. I got your image, was very good. I think these days, because we're picking the audio from the Echo link, you'll be fine if you want to transmit the audio from the Echo link, and the TV, you just set it on the air, as long as there's not conflicting audio. Which brings me to the Echo on James. I think James wanted to do the Echo because he was transmitting on two mechanisms at the same time. He was sending audio through OBS and sending audio over 2 meters. And now we put those two as additive, so we got that audio with Echo, which is fine. I mean, I don't know if you're a CBer on the 70s or the 80s. This was quite popular, so we had a little bit of that vibe. As I promised, showing a little bit of devices. So I'm in the process of moving away from many radios to just having one. And so I like my Flex radio, and my Flex radio, which of course is an HF radio, they have a way to use transverter for all these other frequencies. And so this is a multiband transverter. Oh, nice focus now. It's a multiband transverter from Q5. Which basically will take all the hints from the radio itself, and then I can do 144, the 200 megahertz, the 432, and it has 900 and 1296. It's quite simple as a device, and in fact I got this multiband one, and I got an additional one, much smaller, just for the for 144 for 2 meters, which has higher power. And the reason I want two is because I want to do full duplex for the satellites and transmitting and receiving at the same time. So, and again, the advantage I really like about the Flex radio is just the ability of doing everything remote from PC, either at home or sometimes I'm doing FT8. Oops, just break. Just a little pause. Sometimes I'm just doing FT8 directly from my phone or my PC, wherever I am. And I really like the flexibility of the Flex radio. So I'm converting the previous ICOMs, the 7300 and the 9700, just to a full stack of Flex radio and transverters, which I think I will enjoy. Again, happy with the audio quality on both sides, and it seems to be quite stable on all directions from what I can see here. So back to Dave, net control from 87 NP in Clyde Hill.
NP, thanks with that. And let's go switch over to OBS and pick up Mario again. KD6ILO. KD6ILO.
Hi, Dave, and thank you, and to everyone else on the net. My visit to the NASA Glenn Research Center in Cleveland, Ohio, was work-related, not anything to do with amateur stuff. And my team of 6. I there with a team from Australia to compare our laser terminals for NASA's new telecom orbiter for Mars. They wanted to have a portable laser system for a new rover designed for the Mars surface. It will have a high gain system on the K-band on the new rover. Also, they want to add a laser terminal on the new rover to shoot up the new telecom orbiter, which will be RF and laser, because the rovers on the surface of Mars use RF. So we want to do a send 4K video from the surface of Mars to the telecom orbiter, which will be sent to Mars in either 2027. So the Australian team and my team, ITG, Interactive Technology Group, are subcontractors for NASA. This past week, I also went to Moffett Field at the Ames Center to also talk to them about our systems to integrate on the spacesuit competition. I don't know if you guys remember, I designed a video screen for the sleeve of the suit. And they liked it because I've been using a flat screen and also circuitry. And it's easy to manufacture. Break. Okay. Also, I'll be going to Hilo, Hawaii. That's my home in Hawaii, the home state, we'll be going to Waimea, and because on the west side of the Big Island of Hawaii, the cloud cover is minimal, not like Hilo. So we landed in Hilo and make a short Cessna 206 flight to Kona. Then we'll be spending some time with the University of Hawaii telecom team to set up a portable laser system, and we'll be testing it to shoot laser to Haleakala on Maui, and then it will be relayed to the space station, and then back to California. And this is nothing to do amateur radio, even though we can send a video from amateur radio without the call sign to the system. As I showed the video here in Oceanside, we don't have to use call signs because it is not on amateur frequency. We are using optic frequencies in the micro nanometer band. And this picture has been sent to the building on the left side and then to Carlsbad. Back to net control.
Thank you, Mario. KD6ILO. Boy, you really got some things going for you. I think that Hawaii experiment is going to be a beautiful thing, that you can cross over between ham radio and non-ham radio and connect the two together to get good communications out. And this is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. And audio and video has been very good this evening. A little bit of a hiccup that we got with James, but I think the echo was coming through using OBS and then also 2 meters, and it was there was about a 2 millisecond delay, and it caused a little bit of an echo. So anyway, probably wanted to mute the audio coming in on digital TV while you're talking. That might help. And outside of that, the pictures have been good. The audio level is fantastic, balanced between what's coming in a digital TV audio and 2 meter audio, and that's been working very well tonight. So anyway, lessons learned on that is coming along quite well with the audio levels. So with that, I'm going to move it back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, thank you very much, Dave. I guess everybody.
Well,
I was asking if you
hear me, and nobody gave me a thumbs up, so I picked up the 2 meter radio.
2 meter radio.
So I guess you hear me now.
So I don't know what's going on.
But
everything's
pretty good here. It breaks up once in a while, but not bad.
Nothing
to get excited.
About.
Mario, you're a busy guy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've been to just about all the Hawaiian Islands once or twice. And of course, we have relatives that are on Kona that have coffee company. So anyway, yeah, Lee, I saw where that on the news where that truck had rolled over in the creek and dumped out diesel and gasoline, and you guys were on water restrictions. Not much else going on around here. been pretty quiet. My brother and sister-in-law were having trouble with their TV, so I bought them a new Fire Stick, and I went over and installed that the other day, and then Phyllis called and said that it didn't, it quit working or something, so I don't know what they did. So anyway, I went over last night, and I got it working, came right on, and seemed to be fine, so hopefully it'll be fine now. I showed her again how to use it. I think what happens is I think they get the TV remote out and mess up the TV. You've got to keep it on HDMI 2, I think, for them. Okay, back to net, KD7QKU. And it's really nice to see you, everybody.
KD7QKU. Let's go to Port Angeles to Lee in 7KC.
Okay, there's my call sign, so I guess the channel's probably hot. There we go. Well, it's Lee here again in 7KC in Port Angeles. Yeah, I'll tell you, that truck driver is really lucky. He got cited. It was all his problem. He lost control of the rig, and believe it or not, well, he had a seatbelt on. That truck rolled down a 200 to 300 foot embankment and landed in Indian Creek upside down, wheels up, and he didn't get seriously injured, although they moved him to the Olympic Medical Center, the OMC here in Port Angeles, just as a precaution. But there were no drugs or alcohol involved. He just, I don't know what happened. Maybe he went to sleep. Anyway, he did get a moving violation ticket. Probably, that's pretty rough on a commercial driver. Anyway, well, it's an interesting net, and Mario, it's good to see you. And you are indeed a busy boy. You've got a lot going, so good for you. And yeah, Carlos, Flex Radio. Well, a couple of guys over here have got Flex radios, and they can use them on the go. They can take that Maestro with them and actually even do CW. The latency is not so bad as they can't do CW. The net manager for the Northwest CW net at 10 o'clock at night travels for the railroad, and he takes his Maestro with him, and so he can get in with pretty good CW no matter where he is. So it's pretty impressive. Anyway, that's it for me. I noticed that we've just 6 minutes till the hour, so I will say 7-3 to you guys, and we'll see you on a net down the way. So from Port Angeles, this is Lee in 7KC, and I'm saying goodnight.
In 7KC, thanks with that. We received your 7-3, and we'll move on with the net. Let's see if we can pick up Richard in Kent, K7ITX.
Yeah, it's been a fun net tonight. It's been great to have Mario show up, and golly, that radio you were showing us, Carlos, it looked like a miniature hovercraft for sure. I mean, with that heat sink and the two fans, that was very impressive, I thought. Anyway. Yeah, and I'll just comment that James in Bellevue, his audio had at least at my end, corresponding echo with about a 1 to 2 second latency, and the same with Ron. And interesting enough, though, James, there were 3 stages to your audio during your last transmission. And when I mean stages, different, it's like there'd be a distinct switching noise, and then it'd be a new harmonic and a new audio, and it might not be echo. And that happened 3 times, and it went from bad to good to medium to bad. It was really odd. It's one of the oddest things. But I noticed that with maybe perhaps you or someone else last week too. It's not everybody, so I don't know what's going on there, but it's really quite interesting. So with that, I'll say 73 myself. K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks with that. We got your 7-3. And let's see if we can pick up Wade in Tacoma, W7ITL.
My audio is working now, so I will turn down my volume on my radio here. Yeah, finally got everything working. It's really nice seeing Mario on the net. It's been a while since we've seen you, and lots of nice pictures, and you are just a busy guy. Lots of projects you're working on for space and lasers, and it's just really cool. Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see that rover in action when they send it up with the 4K video and all that with laser link. Is that laser from the surface, or it'll be RF? I maybe didn't catch that. You said something about the current maybe rover is on RF, or maybe the new one's going to also be RF, and then from the satellite it'll be fiber up, or it'll be light. So all right, I'll turn it back to net control. I think we're getting close to the end of the net here, and nice net, and everything seems to be working pretty good, except there was a couple glitches with Ron, and looks like my video is glitching a little bit too. I'm going to turn my power up here. Maybe that'll help out. I'm at high power now. All right, well, I'll say 73. This is W7ITL. Back to net control.
W7ITL, we got your 7-3. Thanks with that. Let's pick up James, WU7N.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to come in on OBS only, and I just heard some of my feedback on the 2 meter, and I think that audio is excellent. Let me check to see what's coming over the streaming site. It looks like it's locked up right now. That is the RTMP signal. Locked up right now. Okay, that audio is good too. RTMP signal. So it sounds like, Carlos, thank you very much for your comments. I thought the first time around, I thought I had the OBS muted. So let's try this. Let's go ahead and mute the OBS. Okay, well, I appreciate everyone's immense amount of hard work to get it to this point. Okay, well, I appreciate everyone's because it's all operator errors, my echo, and is I guess when you have 4 different sources of audio input and at least 4 different sources of audio output, you got to make sure which ones are on and which ones are off. Well, I see it's the top of the hour, so my name is James, WU7N. I'll put in a plug for the net here. We meet 8 p.m. Pacific time, West Coast of the United States time, on Wednesday evenings and Saturday evenings. We welcome anyone. You don't need fancy equipment to join the net. You can just come in on 2 meter, 147.08, with a PL tone of 103.5. That's 103.5 for the 08 machine. Just let the net control operator know if you want to just come in and say hello and leave, or if you want to join the roundtable conversation. So with that, let me turn it back over to our net Dave, over there in Seattle. This is Whiskey Uniform 7 November saying good night.
Thank you with that. This is Western Washington. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. We'd like to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association letting us use WW7STR's repeater 147.08 with a tone of 103.5 for our voice transmissions. So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, terminating the net at 9:01. Good evening all.
Node 56456.